Grand Rising. God bless you. What a beautiful day it is that the good Lord has made. Yes, we are in the building again. One more again. Thank Him. Praise His holy name for waking us up. Woo, won't He do it? Won't He do it? Get that out there. The word for the day. Herbs 3, 5 through 6. Come on now, say it with me. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to Him, and He will make your crooked path straight, or make your path straight. Come on now, y'all. Let's go. Let's get it. Catch us every Saturday, Trading Compass, 6 p.m. Central. Go to allbarelite.com and sign up and get your future unlocked with trading with All Bar Elite. I'm your host. You're trading with Coach CHOC, also known as CHOcinHood, bringing Wall Street to y'all street. Give us a like, share, and subscribe to the channel. This is for educational purposes only. Past profit does not guarantee future results. Look here, if you want to really know how to do this the right way, jump on over to allbarelite.com. Click on that first link at the top and register for our Easy 80 Trading program. And go on down to the bottom. Click on either one of our social media handles and follow us so you can be notified when we have the pop-up pippin' show. Because we be popping up with them pips, man. Popping up with them pips. Y'all are so silly. Hey, let's get right into it. let's go ahead and check out the news. While we watching the news, I am so happy to say that we hit TP on our trades yesterday. What a beautiful thing we had going on. Undefeated, undisputed for the week. Might I say, we have won again today. Yes, 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 yes. All right. So we are looking at news. We are looking at news. All right, 7:30:30. 7:30:30. We've got red folder news for USA, and then orange folder news for USA. Looks like at 9, right? 6 p.m. JPY. It's going to drop some news on us. In other news, we are looking at news that should be dropping in 50 minutes. 56, a little under an hour. Orange folder news for US of A. And then we have orange folder news for Euro in 5 hours. And then in 7 hours, we have it again for USA. Okay, so just watch your newsy boozies. That's all you got to do. Get over here into this market. Let's get into this market and see what's crack-a-lacking. All we got to do. Ain't nothing to do but to get into the market and see what's happening. Hope y'all slept nice last night. Hope you had a really nice night of rest. So looks like we have, I think that was Chanel that was asking about NU from last day. I think we should be good on NU. It's just kind of, we never really know. But so far, looks like NU is doing what it's supposed to do. So we're good. Okay. Remember, one way to do this thing is securing your profit, putting your stop loss in profit once you get in on a trade and you are profitable. It's good to lock that in. Good to lock it in. Don't be scared to lock it in. You know what I'm talking about? Some people don't want to. Thinking everything is going to be good forever and ever and ever. So, March 27th here, and just want to look real quick, just see what we have going on. March 26th, 1, 2. Okay. All right. What do we see? What do we see? We see we got some people in the house with us this morning. Most definitely want to give my shout out to my people that's in here and talking this morning. Sandra's in the house. Grand Rising. Tanya's in here. Whoa. That's your favorite verse from the Bible? Well, thank you for letting me use it. Thank you. Gloria's in here this morning. Aletha is also with us. So, working through the videos in the university. That's cool. Keep it up. That's what we do. Take it one step at a time. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day. It always seems forever, like forever and ever. Get something done to get where you want to be. Like the kids in the car. Are we there yet? Not yet. Beautiful execution here on our trade, and just look at how it pulled back and just ran away. Cat just ran away. Then we also have entry from yesterday. Boom, boom, boom. Still playing in this area. So what are we gonna do today is the question. What y'all feel like getting into today? We know we have news coming up from USA. That's orange folder. Not bad, you know. At orange folder, I mean red folder at 7:30. You know, we got past that, so everything else is just kind of really mellow yellow, kid. Right? So not really in a rush to. We don't make things happen. What we do is we sit back and wait for things to happen, and then we react. The wife in the building with me this morning. Let's take a look around, y'all. See what's happening. Kind of watching this UJ. UJ got some coming back to come back for. Will be coming on back. I did something yesterday that was really funny to me. It's real uncomfortable. I don't know how y'all sit here and listen to me because I sound funny. Watching yesterday's show, listening. One thing I can say is that I like the way I look on YouTube. That video, I was looking pretty good on there. But to listen to me, it's hilarious. And you all are comfortable with that. All right. I did get a chance to laugh at myself. So, UJ, looks like we could pull back a little bit. I'm not going to try to put in a counter trend trade here. So, just gonna look around. Let's take a look at NU. NU is kind of funny right now. What's happening with the NU? Man. I could catch some action on NU. I could. Just watch GU for a while. Let's just see what it's doing. Okay. I'm good with GU if y'all good with GU. I'm good. All right, let's not talk about it. Let's be about it. Let's be about it then. I think I'm going to get myself set up and put myself in sell stop position. Get myself in some sell stop positions. How rude of me. I did yawn and did not say excuse me. No excuse me. What was a yawn? You have an entry. Uh-oh, that zone got moved around. Let's check these zones up and confuse the market. They don't know what we're gonna do now. We got them going. You ever think the market knew that could read your chart and started was doing the opposite of whatever you did? Doggone rascals. All right. All right, that's it. Take it away, back. Take it away, back. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, y'all. All right, here we go. Gonna drop this sell stop like it's hot on them. They're not even gonna be ready for it. Entry 1.29232, 1.29232. TP is going to be 1.29118. 1.29118. Drop a funky beat on them. We play right here on this one. We've got a repeater, copycat. We have a copycat. They're gonna do it again. Might as well let them. Who are we to go against them. All right, y'all. Ready? AUD USD. AUD USD. Sale stop. Entry 0.6. Ready? Excuse me. 0.63003. 0.63003. Take profit is 0.62. 896. 0.62896. And that's it. Wonder how many TPs could I get today? And once again, happy Brown History Month. Happy Brown History Month to you all. Look like we are pips away from Real Deal Holyfield. I mean, this is it here. This is it at its finest. Slow to the low to the motion. Right there. Let's zoom in on that. I mean, you couldn't get a roach to squeeze between where the market, where that wick is at, and where. Look at this. Just couldn't get a gnat booty in there. You know, it's a gnat fruit fly, small. Can't even get that in there. Look at that. Wow, that is close. It's just, it's just irritating when the market gets this close and then turns around and goes the other direction. Well, but you know what? I'd rather see that than have the market hit the trade and then turn around and take off. You know, but it's an entry. I'd rather see that in an entry I've had that happen to me at a TP too. Like get right there and then turn around. I'm like, oh, it's coming back. And then it's just like, no, I'm not. It's like, come back here with my money. Come here with my money. Market just keeps going. And I know the market's laughing at me. I know it is. Do we have another fight on our hands? Back and forth they go. I think you may want to get ready to count your entries. Well, this is part of the process of watching paint dry. It used to bother me when I first started trading. I didn't know how people could sit and just watch candlesticks do this. But then you start hearing stuff like this. We're gonna count it. Rock the bells. Here comes the entry. Rock the bells. If y'all don't believe, you better get you some faith, because faith without works is dead. I'm gonna claim mine. I have to claim yours. There we go. There we go. There we go. In, my friend. In, my friend. We are in Nicky Nacky Nikos. Nicky Nacky Nikos. Come on. All right, rock the bells on the entry. Don't get too excited. Don't get too excited. We are in. So, all that has happened. I'm gonna go ahead and celebrate some Brown history while we are on here. Like.
People. As the sun sets over Africa's expansive savannas, stories emerge, depicting mighty kings and beautiful queens with dark, rich skin. The Bible, a long-standing book, holds within its pages the secrets of these ancient narratives. Join us on an immersive cinematic journey through time as we unearth the stories that may have been forgotten by the rest of the world but will forever be etched in the sands of Africa. Before we jump into the main content, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos. We have a lot of exciting content coming your way. Now, let's set sail on this incredible journey and unlock the history of our Black and African ancestors. According to the Bible, all present-day people are descendants of Noah's 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. This includes Black individuals and those with dark skin, whose lineage can be traced back to Ham, one of Noah's sons. Shem and Japheth are Ham's brothers, representing the Semitic people, Arabs, Jews, Syrians, etc., and the Japhethites, Europeans and Asians, respectively. The Bible identifies Ham, Noah's son, as the progenitor of African and Black people. His name is consistently associated with Africa, and the Book of Psalms links him to the ancient Egyptians. It is noteworthy that ancient Jewish and other traditions also attribute African ancestry to Ham. The concept of Ham's children consistently points to African regions, areas, and people. Additionally, the name Ham holds the meaning of burned or dark in Hebrew, Aramaic, and other ancient languages, alluding to the color of his hair and skin. Within chapter 10 of the book of Genesis, specifically between lines 6 to 14, one can explore Ham's family tree, also known as the Hamite people. The book mentions Ham's children, Cush, who became the father of many African people, and Mizraim, who became the father of the ancient Egyptians. It is important to note that Arabs, Jews, Syrians, and others refer to Egypt as Mizrahim because it was named as such by its founder. Put, also known as Phut, and Canaan, the father of the Canaanites, are also sons of Ham. Canaan refers to both a place and a group of people. Further, Cush, Ham's first son, gave rise to various countries and peoples, including the Ethiopians. Ethiopians and the people of Nubia, previously known as the Kingdom of Cush, share the same origin. These are significant countries and groups of people, and their ancestry can be traced back to Cush. It is worth mentioning that the people of Samaria, who are believed to have descended from Nimrod, Cush's disobedient son, are thought to have originated from Old Babylon. Additionally, individuals from South India, as well as populations from various parts of Africa such as Malians, Eritreans, Kenyans, Congolese, and Vantas from Gabon, are considered to have Kushite heritage. In biblical context, the term Cush is often associated with Ethiopia, Sudan, and Africa, signifying Ethiopia or black in its original language. Canaan and Mizrahi were also Ham's children. Mizrahi is believed to be the ancestor of the ancient Egyptians and many people in North Africa, including the dark-skinned Tuaregs and Berbers. Semitic people, such as Arameans, Arabs, and Israelites, refer to Egypt as Mizraim. In Psalm 78, verse 51, it is mentioned that God struck the firstborn in Egypt, the first fruits of manhood, and the tents of Ham. Ham also had a son named Put or Phut, born after Mizraim. Put derives from a word meaning landmark and pertains to clan hunters in Africa. Put is considered the father of the Black Libyans and several other African peoples. Regarding the infamous curse of Ham or curse of Canaan, many people have misconstrued the narrative in Genesis, chapter 9. The Bible recounts that when Noah became intoxicated, his son Ham did not assist him but instead mocked his naked and drunk state to his other brothers. However, this text can be interpreted in multiple ways, and it is not the focal point of this narrative. Noah placed a curse on one of Ham's sons, Canaan. While Noah's actions may seem exaggerated, it was a grave matter to disrespect one's father during that time period, almost akin to a religious duty. Although Noah's drunkenness appears to be accidental, resulting from his discovery of wine made from grapes, which had never been made before, he unknowingly became intoxicated. As a consequence, God did not punish him. It is essential to recognize that Ham and his three other children, Cush, Mizraim, and Put, are all believed to be the progenitors of various African and black populations. The Bible, through its genealogical accounts, connects these individuals to the ancient peoples of Africa, including the Egyptians, Ethiopians, and other African nations. However, it is important to approach these narratives with an understanding of their historical and cultural context, as they represent ancient perspectives and beliefs. It is worth noting that the Bible is not the sole historical or anthropological source for understanding the origins and history of Black and African peoples. Scholars and researchers draw from a wide range of disciplines, including archaeology, linguistics, genetics, and oral traditions, to piece together the complex tapestry of human history. As our knowledge of the past continues to evolve, it is crucial to engage in ongoing research and dialogue to gain a more nuanced understanding of the origins, migrations, and cultural developments of Black and African peoples. It is crucial to emphasize that interpreting the Bible in a way that suggests African people were cursed is a grave mistake and a misinterpretation. The individual who is cursed in the Bible is Canaan, the grandson of Ham, and not all African people. Ham, who is believed to be the ancestor of people in Africa and South India, was born before the flood and lived a remarkably long life compared to most people. He had the opportunity to witness the fifth and sixth generations of his family and ancestors. Interestingly, similar to his brother Shem, Ham also lived to be around 600 years old or possibly even older. While the exact age of Ham is not specified in the Bible, it is likely that he lived at least 600 years. The location of Ham's burial site remains uncertain, with various theories and studies suggesting different possibilities. Some propose that his tomb could be in Ethiopia or even Nubia, while others suggest Mesopotamia, where the Sumerians lived. However, the prevailing belief is that Ham's tomb is in Africa, specifically in Sudan or Ethiopia. Some even speculate that he might be buried in Egypt, a land known for its ancient secrets and the ongoing discoveries of millennia-old burials. The Book of Jubilees provides additional details about Ham's later years and the events involving Noah's family and the lineages of Ham, Shem, and Japheth. This ancient Jewish manuscript, which was considered authoritative before and during the time of Christ, describes Ham's displeasure when his youngest son Canaan chose to settle in the land of Shem, which is now known as Israel. Ken, Ham's other son, disagreed with Canaan's desire to claim those lands for himself. According to the Book of Jubilees, Ham, Cush, Mizrahi, and others did not support Canaan's decision to reside in Shem's territory, as they believed that the lands in Africa were meant for Ham's descendants. Despite their objections, Canaan chose to remain in the land against his father and brother's wishes. In the Book of Jubilees, it is mentioned that Ham was the first person to establish a city and region after the flood. He named the place Mel Tamlach in honor of his beloved wife. It is important to approach these ancient texts with careful consideration of their cultural and historical context. The Bible provides a complex and multifaceted narrative, and it is crucial to avoid misinterpretations that perpetuate erroneous beliefs or unjustly associate curses with entire groups of people. Thank you for watching. We hope you.
All right, there we go. There we go. It is what it is. So, you know, we've heard this, or some of us may have, some of us probably haven't, heard this before, but now there are stories of, Ham's wife and stories of Noah's wife. You really don't hear too much about. I think that's a real good one. I'll play that. Ham's wife, the mother of the African people. Let's check that out next. Let's see. We got a pullback going on our AU trade, and sitting here just watching. And our GBP USD is just kind of consolidating. So cool. All right. Let's go.
That are seldom mentioned or discussed in videos, especially those shrouded in mystery. Some of them are only briefly mentioned without their names being revealed. However, in ancient writings and books from different biblical canons, we can find more detailed information about these characters. In this video, I will delve into the history of Ham's wife, exploring her origins and curiosities. This is another episode in our series on the matriarchs of humanity. Don't forget to like and keep watching the video, Ham's wife, the mother of African peoples. Returning to the discussion of the wives aboard Noah's Ark, in this episode, we are exploring the wives of Noah's 3 sons. I will share information about Ham's wife. These women who were aboard Noah's Ark were part of Noah's family, who survived the Great Flood, as narrated in the book of Genesis, a fascinating chapter of the Bible. These brave women survived alongside their husbands, although the Bible does not mention their names. However, their existence is confirmed in Genesis, chapter 6, verse 18, when God said to Noah, "But with you, I will establish my covenant, you shall come into the ark, you, your sons, your wife, and your sons' wives." In this way, we are exploring the account of the women aboard the Arkansas. In ancient Jewish tradition, we find a remarkable manuscript called the Book of Jubilees, a fascinating and extremely ancient text. The book presents a history of Genesis and Exodus, supplementing the biblical account with additional details such as genealogies, names, precise dates, and specific calendars. It also addresses the history of the patriarchs, religious ordinances, and the laws observed by the ancient Israelites. Although the Book of Jubilees is not considered canonical by most Jewish traditions and is not included in the standard Jewish or Christian canon, it is valued by some Jewish communities and is regarded as an important text for understanding religious thought and the history of Judaism in the Second Temple period. Moreover, it has been preserved in various languages and manuscripts, including Ethiopian, Greek, and Latin. This book is considered canonical by the Ethiopian Orthodox Church and also by Jews converted to Judaism, known as Beta Israel, also known as Falashas or Falash Mura. Many of these converts are descendants of Jews but also have African roots, particularly from the descendants of Cush. In the Book of Jubilees, we find the names of the wives of each of Noah's sons. Ham's wife, for example, is called Neltamach in this manuscript. She is described as the mother of many peoples, including African peoples and other groups with origins related to Ham and his wife Neltamach.
You can ask your questions. I guess if it's about the course, you could drop them in a Telegram. If it's about what's going on now, you could drop it here on YouTube if you want to. All right, Letha.
Neltamach is remembered as the matriarch of African peoples. Her descendants spread throughout the continent, giving rise to various cultures and civilizations. Her legacy is deeply rooted in African history, influencing traditions, languages, and connections to the land throughout generations. According to the Sibylline oracles, Neltamach enjoyed extraordinary longevity, living for centuries and centuries. This was due to the fact that she belonged to a pre-Diluvian generation, born before the Great Flood. During that time, people had incredibly long life expectancies, with some living up to an impressive 900 years. Ham's wife, Neltamach, lived for many centuries, and during this extended period, she uttered several remarkable prophecies. According to the Sibylline oracles, all 3 wives of Noah's sons were prophetesses and made predictions for their generations and the nations descended from them. Neltamach, like the other wives, played a significant role in transmitting prophecies to her descendants. In Christian traditions dating from the 2nd century after Christ, specifically according to a Syriac Targum, which is quite similar to the Book of Jubilees but slightly later, the Syriac Targum, also known as Targum Pseudo-Jonathan or Targum Yerushalmi II, is a translation or paraphrase of the Old Testament in Aramaic, erroneously attributed to Jonathan ben Uzziel. Unlike better-known Targums like Targum Onkelos, for the Pentateuch, and Targum Yonatan, for the prophets, the Syriac Targum primarily focuses on the historical books of the Old Testament. It is believed that the Syriac Targum was composed sometime between the 6th and 9th centuries AD. It is known for its peculiar literary style and significant differences from more traditional Targums. The Syriac Targum is not widely used in Jewish or Christian contexts today and is relatively less known compared to other Targums. However, it provides interesting insights into the interpretation and translation of the Bible in antiquity and can be a valuable resource for scholars wishing to explore the literary and cultural traditions of Judaism during the time it was produced. The Christian writer known as Saint Hippolytus also mentions a tradition, but he changes the names of the wives of Ham and Japheth to other names. He writes that Ham's wife's name would be Zedkit-Nabu. Therefore, according to this tradition, Zedkit-Nabu would be Ham's wife. It's truly fascinating to note that in Christian traditions, there is an ancient legend related to Ham's wife during the time of the flood. According to this legend, God instructed Noah to destroy the first person who announced the beginning of the flood. However, at that moment, Ham's wife was baking bread, and when the water suddenly rushed out of the oven, destroying the bread, she exclaimed that the flood had begun. She began to shout and proclaim that the flood was starting. God then, according to this second-century Christian tradition, decided to revoke his earlier command so that Noah wouldn't destroy his own daughter-in-law, in other words, not destroy a member of his own family who was about to be saved from the great flood. This is a fascinating curiosity present in Christian traditions about Ham's wife. As mentioned in the book of Genesis, chapter 10, and the book of Jubilees, Neltamach, Ham's wife, had 4 sons with him, Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. It's worth noting that the first 3 sons of Ham and Neltamach gave rise to various nations, primarily in the African region. However, Canaan did not give rise to African peoples. He was the ancestor of the Canaanites, also known as the ancient Phoenicians of the Middle East, who were enemies and rivals of the Israelites for many centuries. Despite Canaan not being the main focus of the biblical narrative, his name is associated with the land of Canaan. The land of Canaan is often mentioned as the region that would become the inheritance of the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob after their journey there. This land would include geographic areas that are now part of Israel, Palestine, Lebanon, and Jordan. It's interesting to observe how these biblical accounts and ancient legends shed light on the history and origins of different ethnic groups and cultures. The main ethnic groups that originated from Neltamach's lineage included primarily the Sumerians, notably the Sumerian people. This happened because the ancient Sumerian civilization had its roots in the descent from Cush. It's important to mention that Nimrod was the Sumerian pioneer who colonized the region mentioned in the book of Genesis, which later became Babylon. The Bible describes Nimrod as the first to be a mighty man on the earth, Genesis 10 verse 8, and states that he became a mighty hunter before the Lord. Furthermore, Nimrod is credited as the founder of several ancient cities in the Mesopotamian region, including Babel, Erech, Akkad, and Calneh. We have a video on our channel about Nimrod and his kingdom. I'll leave the link to that video in the description. Additionally, a significant portion of the local population in that region had Semitic origins, including the Akkadians, Chaldeans, Assyrians, Syrians, and Arameans. It's interesting to note that, in the case of the Sumerians, their ancestry traced back to Cush due to the influence of Nimrod. It's also notable to highlight that the ancient Egyptians were descendants of Neltamach, Ham's wife, through her son Mizraim. The name Mizraim is often associated with the region that would eventually become Egypt in biblical and historical tradition. In fact, the term Mizraim is used in some Bible translations as an alternate name for Egypt. While Mizraim is not a central figure in biblical theology, he holds historical significance due to his association with the region of Egypt. Egypt played a significant role in the history of the ancient Near East and is frequently mentioned in the Bible in relation to events such as the enslavement of the Israelites and the Exodus led by Moses. Another people descended from Neltamach are the ancient Nubians, who were often referred to simply as Cush in antiquity because of their connection to Cush, one of the sons of Ham and Neltamach. In the Bible, the land of Cush is mentioned in several passages, and the Cushites are frequently mentioned in historical and geographical contexts, especially in relation to Egypt. Sometimes, the word Kush is also used more broadly to refer to distant or exotic lands. In addition to the Nubians, it's also important to emphasize that the ethnicities of Ethiopia, as well as the peoples of Eritrea, Somalia, and the entire African continent, have their roots in the descent from Neltamok and Ham. It is crucial to emphasize that the mistaken interpretation of the curse of Canaan as something that fell upon Africans is false and harmful. This idea was invented by people who did not correctly understand the biblical text. It's essential to clarify that the curse of Canaan is not related to African peoples but rather to the Canaanite people of the Middle East, from the land of Canaan. Incorrectly associating this curse with Africans is a distortion and a miscontextualized interpretation of the Bible. The curse of Canaan is a narrative found in the Bible, specifically in Genesis 9 verses 20 to 27. In this account, after the flood, Noah plants a vineyard, becomes intoxicated, and becomes uncovered in his tent. His son Ham sees his father's nakedness and reports it to his brothers, Shem and Japheth, who cover their father without looking at him. When Noah learns of what happened, he curses Ham's son, Canaan, and blesses Shem and Japheth. This story is not related to Africans but rather to the Canaanites and should not be used to justify any form of racial discrimination or prejudice. The misguided and racist interpretation arises from the unjustified connection between the curse of Canaan and the legitimization of the enslavement of Africans. Advocates of this distorted interpretation claim that Canaan had ancestral ties to Africans and thus used the curse of Canaan as religious justification for the enslavement of Africans. However, it's essential to emphasize that Canaan was not the progenitor of African peoples but rather of the Canaanite peoples of the Middle East. Therefore, the curse of Canaan cannot be attributed to African peoples. In the next episode, which will conclude our series, we will discuss the matriarch of all humanity, Noah's wife. So, we would like to ask you to leave a like and share the video with people who are interested in learning more about these figures from the scriptures that are rarely mentioned. Additionally, we invite you to leave your comments with suggestions for other mysterious characters you would like.
All right. All right. All right. All right. I gotcha. That being said, let's get back into some sounds, y'all. Feel like some vacation music.
Hey, take a look. Hey, take a look. Hey, take a look. Hey, take a look.
All right, slow motion. Slow motion better than no motion, though. You know what I'm talking about. We got some going on. We just don't know what it is. We got an entry. Still looking pretty good. You know, when there's not a lot of news in the market, then the market sometimes will have a tendency to move slow. But we'll take this time. We'll talk about our word of the day. Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. And in all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight. Story for that. Let's talk about Lisa. Let's just say Lisa is trying to solve a real hard problem at work. Okay, she's in a supervisor position. She kept trying to do things her own way. It just didn't work out. Just kept running into the brick wall, right? And there was another brick wall. And then finally she asked someone else. The other person that she asked God for help. She prayed and asked God to help her. And he showed her a different way to do it. Then her problem was solved. Like she just couldn't figure it out. Sometimes you pray and you ask God to give it to you, and your answers will be revealed. Right? So this means instead of always trying to figure things out on your own, just trust God. Trust God to show you the right way. It's like asking for directions when you're lost. But God will help you find your path. Right? That's simple. So, all right, let's get back over here into the market and see what's going on. Coming up at the top of the hour. This looks like it may be one of those slow motion moving, mornings, and that's cool with me because I don't really sit and like to watch my trades all the time. It's the same thing. I just kind of, take the guidance, take the trades, put them in, and just let them go. Just let it happen, trust in God. So, same thing here. Right? We lean not on our own understanding. Good readers, try to get ready for a 40 pip play coming your way. 40 pip play. I think we did get a trade dropped. Wife, it was 20-30 pips. We got to announce that. Let me just double check. And I'm multitasking here. No, we did not. It's actually a 25 pip move. 25 pip move. And the other one, I think it's a 45 pip move. Okay. So 45. It's gonna be a little shorter than 45. Market's moving pretty fast, so maybe a little shorter than that. All right. Coming up on the top of the hour, y'all. This is it. Go ahead and bust a move and stay smooth and get up out of here. It's been great. I've enjoyed myself. Again, a little laid back today. Give y'all a break. Don't want to make y'all laugh too much every day. All right. That being said, thank y'all for unlocking your future with all of our elite. If you really want to get in, y'all know what to do. Right? You're trading live. With who? Coach CHOC, aka ChocinHood. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel, y'all. Tell somebody to tell somebody what's going on over here. Remember, this is for educational purposes only. Past profit does not guarantee future results, right? Educational purpose only. That's all we're doing around here. But if you really want to know what we're doing, then go over to allbarelite.com. Click on that top link and register for our Easy 80 trading program. We got the pop-up pip show. You can find all of our links down at the bottom of our website. And even follow us on Facebook. You get free pips over there being a member on Facebook. Saturdays, every Saturday at 6 p.m. Central. We got the trading conference course teaching you about them trades. We like to help people unlock their future with trading. You're rocking with All Bar Elite, y'all. Come on, let's go, let's get it. Thank y'all so much. And with that being said, I'm out. I just dropped the link for the last video that I played. Just dropped that last link. Sandra was saying drop a link. Hope that's the one you're looking for. All right. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for being here.
To see in future videos.